uh, cut them. Oh, Pepito. Intermittent fasting and eczema.
인터미턴트 패스팅 앤드 엑시머.
Over the past 12 fasting for eczema, does it help and is it sustainable in the long term? That's the question I'll be diving into today. We'll be discussing different fasting methods like water fast, intermittent fasting, and 1 meal a day approach, along with the pros and cons of reaching ketosis. Hi, I'm Dr. Chano Dasari, a surgeon who specializes in reversing complex inflammation naturally using the mind-gut immunity method. We have refined our methodology over the past 12 years and have helped thousands of patients recover. We look at conditions such as eczema and solve the root cause. And as you know by now from the hundreds of research papers on the topic, the gut microbiome plays a significant role in modulating the immune response in eczema. If you want to see how we fix these issues, schedule a discovery call with me and I'll provide you with some helpful tips to get started. Here are a few studies that describe.
Well, hey guys, it's January. Everyone is laser focused on individual wellness, lifestyle, and fitness goals. And with that comes a lot of talk of different diets and heavy promotion of different diets. I'm a board certified dermatologist, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the skin benefits, if any, of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has gained a lot of popularity over the past several years for weight loss. I mean, you will find communities on the internet who swear by intermittent fasting, not only for weight loss, but they'll claim a variety of other personal health anecdotes related to intermittent fasting. What the heck is intermittent fasting? If you've never heard of it, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It is a dietary strategy that focuses on alternating periods of eating with periods of, well, not eating or fasting. Now, there are a variety of different ways in which intermittent fasting can be approached, different time-restricted windows you. So intermittent fasting focuses on when food is consumed and the quantity of food consumed. Intermittent fasting is thought to work through altered liver metabolism. A lot of people refer to this as the metabolic switch, in which the body alternates from using glucose derived from the liver with fat cell-derived ketones during periods of fasting. Laboratory research suggests a variety of benefits to the cells of your body that come with fasting, including improved glucose regulation, improved stress responses, less inflammation, and upregulation in autophagy, a pathway that basically recycles and gets rid of damaged molecules, overall reducing oxidative and metabolic stress in the body. In the field of intermittent fasting, the working hypothesis is that by altering metabolism, downstream of that will have a variety of health benefits. Indeed, clinical trials do in fact demonstrate intermittent fasting benefits a variety of health conditions, including obesity, a variety of cardiovascular issues, diabetes, and fatty liver. Unfortunately, these studies are not perfect. They have a variety of limitations, and they're not generalizable. They don't look at adolescents or adults over the age of 65, so it's very difficult to extrapolate these findings to the population as a whole. We don't have answers as to which groups of people intermittent fasting may or may not help, and could it cause harm. These studies are often looked at only in the short term, so we don't really have a good sense long term the safety ramifications of intermittent fasting. Alright, but you clicked into this video to learn about the skin benefits, if any, of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, as I said, has been shown to benefit a variety of cardiovascular, cardiometabolic parameters. For that reason, logic would follow that it would have skin benefits as well. Remember, your skin is the largest organ in the body. It constitutes 20% of your weight. It is a window to what is going on internally. Most of the research, if not all, that we have on the benefits to the skin of intermittent fasting is going to be laboratory-based, meaning not on actual real people. It's either going to be cells in a dish or animal models, rats and mice. You are not a rat, you are not a mouse. Do not overinterpret these studies and think that they, equate to reality in humans. It can be very different. But the research we have to date is encouraging, interesting. Animal studies suggest that intermittent fasting or caloric restriction may actually reduce the irritation experienced with retinoids without compromising the efficacy of retinoids. If you guys have ever used a topical retinoid, in the beginning they are very irritating, and unfortunately this oftentimes limits people's ability to tolerate that. Well, in research in animals would suggest that intermittent fasting may improve the tolerability of retinoids. How the heck would that even happen? It is postulated perhaps this may occur by improving the antioxidant levels in the skin and also by reducing the activity of matrix metalloproteinases, which end up, kind of driving irritation. There are also several laboratory-based studies on the benefits of caloric restriction and intermittent fasting on wound healing. A laboratory study in animals in which they fasted them for 4 days every 2 weeks for 2 months showed an improvement in wound healing in the fasting group in comparison to the non-fasting group. Now, that's interesting because you do have to think about when we're talking about caloric restriction, I can see how there may be some anti-inflammatory effects that might actually help healing, but you have to be very careful because, nutrients are key for good wound healing. I've talked about this in other videos. Things like vitamin C is essential for proper healing with collagen synthesis. You also need zinc for enzymes that are involved in healing to even work. So, these studies, they obviously are caloric restricted, but not nutrient restricted. So that's key, Anyways, and again, you're not a mouse. Now, how this might have benefited those laboratory animals, the researchers postulate that in the setting of intermittent fasting actually results in improvement of these cells in the immune system called the macrophages. Their ability to just kind of come in and engulf stuff, which is their job, that they are actually arguably the most important aspect of good healing is the macrophages coming in and eating up a bunch of stuff and, just kind of cleaning house so that healing can ensue. And in the setting of intermittent fasting in laboratory animals, it's thought that they get better healing because of improvement in phagocytosis, or, kind of the Pac-Man effect of these cells. Research actually does kind of suggest that perhaps intermittent fasting could, in theory, have an anti-aging effect, basically through reduction and formation of advanced glycation end products in the skin. I've got videos talking about this, but glycation is a non-enzymatic process in which sugars kind of glom onto things like collagen in our skin. And these advanced glycation end products are responsible for wrinkle formation. I've got videos, again, explaining how high sugar diets and eating a lot of processed sugary foods can contribute to the physical signs of skin aging, basically through the formation of these advanced glycation end products in the skin. Well, logic would follow that with intermittent fasting, you are to some extent likely getting some degree of, glycemic improvement, and that, can downstream of that result in fewer advanced glycation end products. And that has actually been shown in some laboratory studies, but again, nothing in humans. It's not like we have, a population of people who followed intermittent fasting and a population of people who did not, and, they were all other factors in their lives were exactly the same, and those who did intermittent fasting had fewer wrinkles. No, we don't have any studies like that whatsoever. Speaking of a low glycemic diet and intermittent fasting, I will remind you that we do have evidence to suggest that a low glycemic diet may help some people with acne because it has been shown to reduce sebum, aka oil output. And it's that oiliness that is a key component of acne pathogenesis. With increased oil production, you get clogging of the pores that creates a more hospitable environment for the acne-causing bacteria, Cutibacterium acne, to thrive and jive and create a lot of inflammation that leads to breakouts. Some studies suggest that high glycemic diets are associated with more stubborn and inflammatory acne. And so logic might follow that, through intermittent fasting may be a dietary strategy to get around that. Intermittent fasting may also impact the sleep-wake cycle. As a matter of fact, many people who follow intermittent fasting anecdotally report improvement in sleep quality at nighttime. Now, with the skin, there are a variety of different parameters that do follow a sleep-wake cycle. For example, transepidermal water loss and dryness increase as we sleep. There's also differences in the sleep-wake cycle with oil production, inflammation, blood flow. And for these reasons, you can begin to question, well, with intermittent fasting, is it possible that we could tap into some of these differences in our sleep-wake cycle simply through, maybe better quality sleep? So pretty much everything that we have in terms of skin benefit from intermittent fasting comes from, laboratory-based research. Obviously,
What is it about classical music that makes it so much healthier than other types of music? For instance, even people that don't enjoy classical music, if they engage in it, their depression and anxiety will get better. Their cognitive function will improve. Just healthy classical music 10 minutes later will improve your spatial IQ by about 50%. No other type of music can do this. And so what we have found out, it's the structure and the rules that our brain likes. What are those rules? Beautiful melodies, consonant harmonies that are not dissonant or grating, and a straight rhythm. That straight instead of syncopated rhythm with those two other elements produce some amazing benefits that the brain thoroughly enjoys. What is it about classical music?
If you need an excuse to listen to your favorite music for 10 to 30, maybe 60 minutes per day, and just attending to that music, not while doing anything else, which is what these studies had subjects do, well, indeed, that's been shown to increase heart rate variability around the clock, which we know is beneficial for your mental and physical health more generally. If you need an excuse to listen to your favorite music for 10 to 30, maybe 60 minutes per day, and Classical music doesn't just sound beautiful, it changes your brain. It can trigger memory, regulate emotion, and even help the brain rewire itself after injury. In 2015, Joni Mitchell, the iconic singer-songwriter, suffered a near-fatal stroke. She couldn't speak, walk, or play guitar. Doctors didn't know if she would ever recover. Part of what brought her back wasn't just physical therapy or medication, it was music. Not just listening passively, but deeply engaging with songs that she loved. Music tied to memories, identity, and emotion. Neuroscientists designed a playlist just for her. Listening to the right kind of music, played at the right time, in the right way. A sort of music therapy. Slowly and remarkably, the music began to wake up her brain. And eventually, Joni didn't just survive. She made an impressive comeback. She returned to the stage. She's not the only one. Science now shows that classical music can literally rewire the brain. Whether you're dealing with stress, memory problems, or just trying to stay sharp, music might be the most powerful tool you're ignoring. Here's what happens in your brain.
Nice.
Get ready for the next battle. Summer. One. Fight.
Oh. 아, 프론드.
Round 3. Fight. Round 4. Fight.
아, 추웠다.
Fight. Round 2. Fight.
이기자.
Round 3. Fight. Round 4. Fight.
아, 이럴 수 있었는데.
Final round. Fight.
아, 어떻게 이겨? 아, 진짜 짜증나. 아,
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Fight.
아, 귀가.
Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight.
아, 기관차로, 씨.
Fight.
아. 아, 기관차로서 못 쓰겠다.
Fight. Round 2. Fight. You win. Round one. Fight.
아,
Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight.
아,
Round four. Fight.
아, 아, 졌어. 어? 아, 나.
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
貴様、一体何者だ。
One. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. You lose.
手頃な崖がなかったのでな。この場でとどめを刺してやる。
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
貴様、一体な。
One. Fight.
아,
Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight.
아,
Sama. 一体何者だ Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight.
아,
Get ready for the next battle.
가을졌다는 시간이니까 많이 나아졌다.
Does anyone think that Sam just took a week off? Without telling anyone, the question remains.
Get ready for the next battle.
척작. 척작.
Round 1. Fight.
아, 렉.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
아, 죽었다.
Fight.
지면 안 돼.
Round 4. Fight.
점수 너무 많이 떨어져. 아,
Round 1. Fight.
죽어.
Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight.
아,
話にな。
Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight.
그게 안 맞다니.
Round three. Fight.
한 번 더.
Round four. Fight.
싸.
You win.
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
0.
Fight.
所詮は雑魚だったな。Round 4 Fight.
GG. This guy's too good. GG.
You win. Get ready for the next battle.
Better some bullet gonna get the last laugh.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to watch Arsenal's match in ranked against...
Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. You lose. Get ready for the next battle.
Should newborn babies be listening to Mozart in their cots? Back in 1998, a US state governor thought so. Governor Zell Miller called for public funds to be made available so that every baby in Georgia could be sent a Mozart CD. Around the world, many parents were a step ahead. They were playing their babies a soundtrack of Eine kleine Nachtmusik, the Magic Flute and the rest. What was going on? In 3 words, the Mozart effect, a phrase first coined in 1991 but popularized 2 years later when the findings of a now famous academic study captured the public's imagination worldwide. Simply put, the claim was that listening to Mozart's music, absorbing its beauty and complexity, somehow improved your brain power. And it was never too early to start, hence playing Mozart to babies, or indeed buffaloes. Yes, buffaloes. A tale of Mozart effect mania was recounted to me by the psychologist and author of Mind Myths, Sergio Della Sala. He met a mozzarella cheese producer in Italy who swore that playing Mozart 3 times a day to his buffalo herd led to better quality milk. So how had things come to this? A look back at that original paper shows that its authors from the University of California, Irvine, were decidedly modest in their claims, and they didn't use the phrase Mozart effect at all. Another surprise is that their study wasn't done on children, but on young adult students, and only 36 took part. The experiment involved the students completing a series of mental tasks, but before they started, they either sat in silence for 10 minutes or listened to 10 minutes of Mozart's Sonata for 2 pianos. And the results? On the really rather specific skill of predicting how folded up pieces of paper would look when unfolded, the students who listened to the Mozart did do a little better. That's all. And the effect only lasted for around 15 minutes. So how come this study led people to believe that listening to Mozart could have a lasting impact on intelligence and cognitive abilities? In part because this conclusion is intuitively attractive. Academics have theorized that the brilliant patterns in Mozart's music could stimulate similar patterns of cortical firing in the brain, which in turn would help with complex tasks like solving spatial puzzles. Anyway, the studies kept on coming. A meta-analysis of 16 of them, which took place in 2010, confirmed that there was some small positive effect, though again, short-lived. But was it unique to the music of Mozart? In short, no. Another meta-analysis, again finding temporary positive effects, found that other music worked just as well. And this was backed up by a study of 8,000 children conducted in the UK in 2006. Listening to 10 minutes of Mozart's string quintet in D major did improve the children's ability to predict paper shapes, but so did listening to a medley of PJ and Duncan's Stepping Stones, Mark Morrison's Return of the Mac, and Blur's Country House. The Mozart effect had morphed into the Blur effect, or indeed the whatever music you like effect, or for that matter, as another study showed, whatever passage from a book you like effect.
Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. These are the same chemicals that give you a runner's high. They ease discomfort and induce feelings of euphoria. Together, these brain chemicals enhance your mood, alleviate pain, mitigate stress, and even help reframe negative thoughts. Classical music is not just a pleasant sound, it's a chemical level therapy for your brain. And as a bonus, listening to beautiful music will give you a dose of oxytocin, the love and bonding hormone. Music helps the brain build and rebuild. Research has shown that playing or listening to music can increase gray matter in the brain, the part responsible for decision-making, memory, and movement. Orchestra musicians, in particular, have brain scans that look different from everyone else. The parts of the brain that usually shrink with age actually grow bigger. This is caused by neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to form new connections, building new neural highways. For stroke patients, the strength of these connections can mean the difference between silence and speech, between being immobile and moving freely. In Joni Mitchell's case, music helped activate multiple parts of her brain. Doctors worked with neuroscientists to design therapy that leveraged her favorite music to reawaken dormant pathways. Memory loss is heartbreaking, especially with dementia. But classical music can reach places that even language can't. There's a touching story from a Japanese violinist, Ayako Yometani, who was performing for a woman with severe dementia. She no longer spoke or even made eye contact. As the music started, the woman slowly lifted her head, her eyes lit up, and her mouth started moving. Everyone in the room was stunned. Yet, this isn't rare. It actually happens all the time. It has worked with thousands of people and continues to work time and again. Why? Because the hippocampus, the part of the brain involved in memory and emotion, literally lights up when we listen to music. That's why you can see people with severe memory loss still able to sing lyrics from their youth. Music moves us, literally. More than 8 out of 10 people cry to music. Only a fraction reacts the same way to paintings or sculptures. Music just hits different. In one study, scientists scanned the brains of people with depression while they listened to classical music. Interestingly, even music they've never heard lit up the brain's reward system. They felt joy.
Damn.
You know the feeling of chills, shivers, or goosebumps you get during an incredible song? That's your brain's reward system being fully activated. Your body is literally telling you, this is good for you. But what makes classical music so special?
I'm
The
so
special effects
stupid.
of classical music are built into the music itself. First, structure. Classical music follows rules. Your brain loves rules. Classical music emphasizes balance, harmony, and progression. Even if you've never taken a music lesson, you just know when something sounds up. Second, tempo. Most classical pieces flow at 60 to 80 beats per minute. That's close to our resting heart rate. It literally syncs up with your body and stimulates alpha brainwaves, which are linked to calm focus, creativity, and better sleep. And third, dynamics. Classical music moves. It takes you on a journey. It can be fast or slow, there can be quiet moments, and then explosive crescendos. There are emotional highs and lows that flow from beginning to end. It's like a 5-course meal compared to snacking on candy. Now, there's one piece of music that changed everything in brain research. Mozart's Sonata for 2 pianos in D major. In a landmark study, scientists played it for volunteers. Then, they tested their IQ. Compared to those who sat in silence or listened to other music, those who listened to Mozart had a nearly 10-point boost in spatial intelligence, just from listening to one song for 10 minutes. The phenomenon became known as the Mozart effect. And it wasn't a fluke. Mozart's sonatas have been repeatedly shown to reduce epileptic brain activity, with up to 84% of patients showing improvement. So, what about older music? Well, let's see what the science says. Pop music? It repeats. It repeats a lot. It's often built on short loops with limited variation. It might be catchy and attract a lot of people, but it doesn't challenge your brain. It's like mental fast food. On the other hand, classical music constantly evolves. It surprises you. It stretches. It builds tension. It resolves. It feeds your brain new information without overwhelming it. It keeps you guessing. Unlike the predictable patterns in much of pop music, classical compositions are filled with nuance and transformation. Themes are introduced, developed, inverted, and concluded in a way that mirrors the way we think and process information. Each movement can shift in tempo, tonality, and mood. This keeps your brain engaged in real time, offering mental exercise without causing stress or fatigue. Studies on other modern music, like rock or new age, show that this music can increase tension, hostility, and sadness. They overstimulate. The music might feel exciting, but neurologically, it can drain you. Classical music is not elitist. It wasn't written for people with fancy degrees. It was written for people, for human beings. Some assume that classical music is only for trained ears or wealthy people in tuxedos, but that's never been true. Even someone who has never picked up an instrument can appreciate it deeply. Music isn't about credentials, it's about feeling. You don't need to understand music theory. You just need ears and curiosity. Whether it's a complex symphony or simply a string quartet, the emotional core is accessible to anyone willing to listen. Some people listen to classical music over breakfast, others enjoy it in their commute or when reading a book. Some find joy just sitting in silence and letting it play. But if you want to feel the full effect, go to a concert. Nothing compares to hearing classical music live. It's immersive and there's hopefully no distractions. Just you, the musicians, the audience, and the sound washing over you. Your brain responds even more to live performances. It's the highest form of engagement and connection. Joni Mitchell didn't just recover, she returned to the stage. Classical music helped her find her way back. And you don't need to be a musical legend to benefit. You just need to listen. Music can soothe stress, reignite memory, literally rewire your brain for the better. It's not just art, it's science. While you listen, you're healing. So, give it a try. Tune in. Let music work its magic. Your brain might just thank you. Thank you for watching The Upgrade. Give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you have any thoughts, put them in the comments. We have a lot more coming.
King. Tekken King. What the hell? going to sleep after this. Sleeping. GG. I'm going to sleep. 자러 갈게요.